Well, James, is this his first one? It's his first one ever? Of the month. But he's loaded up weeks, right? He's had weeks probably. You know, I think it comes just down to Cook just being in the right mind state, right? Like, you know, before, you know what? He has good teammates. We love him. We help him get there. He has great teammates. And he leans on us just like we lean on him. When he's running the ball, we want to get that guy in the end zone. And he wants to make our job easier, and we know that. So when a play is called, we try to help him out just as much as he does for us. But Cook is Cook. Cook is cooking, right? And we're thankful to have him, right? Because 4 is doing what he's supposed to do. And that's to get these over and over and over and over and show up. So tip my hat to Cook.
How much are those stats that Cook has accumulated over the last 4 games? Does that have to do with the fact that you, the offensive line and the running backs, are on the same page going into games so that you guys communicate efficiently and effectively?
Can you reword it for me?
How much communication do you, the offensive line, and the running backs have going into game weeks?
A lot. It's a lot. You know, like, to break down the process of it, right, Matt? Like, you go through camp, and then you have your base language that you're supposed to learn that comes from the playbook, which is almost like a script, like reading a book, right? You have your base script of how to say the and how do they say the and how to say it and how to say wow and how to say go this way and this way. And then through the course of practice and through the course of games and through the course of reps, the communication changes, right? And then we kind of start saying our own type of verbiage within the original text. Every week's text is different because we have a whole playbook, but then, you know, each week we dumb the playbook down to what we're going to do against the opponent. So everything is communication, from the huddle to when you're walking out the huddle to when you're in your stance to when the ball is even snapped to even during progression of a play. And I think a play is 4 seconds or 5 seconds. Even through those 4 or 5 second, you know, intervals. Is that the word, intervals? Like, all day. And we do a good job of finding the right verbiage to say things to make the plays easier in our offense. And I think that's what's cool. But even with that, like, that's a really cool question. But, you know, like, that's a reflection of Brady, that he allows us to use our own verbiage and our own, you know, words to get the right words across, to get the plays ran the right way.
Have you been in touch with Diggs this week, and what do you make of him coming back?
Yeah. Nah, I haven't spoke to Diggs. I seen, like a press conference yesterday when he was in the locker room. Like, I seen that. But this is year 2 without Diggs. So it's not like the world is going to make it like the return of Diggs again. Like, but no, like, Diggs is our brother. Diggs is our teammate. Like, Diggs is one of us, and we're a part of his journey just as well as he's a part of ours. He's helped us win a lot of games, and he's been through the struggles of the 13-second game and right and like all that stuff. Like, Diggs was here. We love Diggs, right? To the world, they look at it as, you know, entertainment of his you know, personal life. But he's a guy, and we love him as a football player and as a person. So we expect Diggs to come in here and do what Diggs does well, and that's just be the star and the great receiver that he is. But, you know, Diggs understands the environment that he's coming into, and he understands what the Mafia brings, and he understands that it'll be a hard game. And we understand that it'll be a hard game as well, because we respect our opponents. And Diggs is a competitor, and we're happy for him. I'm happy for him. You know, he has a baby on the way. He probably has a couple of superpowers in there, so who knows? But we love Diggs. We love him.
I was just talking to Jackson Hawes, and I've talked to a couple of... No.
Yeah.
Just trying not to yell, I guess. I was just talking to Jackson Hawes, and I've talked to a couple of your fellow offensive linemen, and they got really excited when I asked them about his ability to block and how he is so proficient at it. And I'm wondering from your standpoint, what have you seen from a player so young that has allowed him to be comfortable and effective in that role?
What have I seen? I would say more so, right? Like, have you ever seen like Nickelodeon? Right? Have you ever seen like Rugrats or Fairly Odd Parents or iCarly, Danny Phantom, Arrow Monsters, all that? Halsey is like all of those all in one. Just a bunch of joy, right? When we watched our show and we sat down and we smiled and we just looked at the TV like, yo, it's kind of cool. That's Halsey. You can make whatever you want up about it. That's the definition of all positivity. He's a guy that comes in and we're like, this kid is built different. He just looks different. He's big, he's strong, he's physical, right? And then you have his position of like, yo, he's a tight end, so he has to be able to make some wild catches or do something cool. And then he's like, all right, cool, let's call a triple, let's call a double, let's call a tram, and let's call all the base terms of offensive line, that it's a universal call. And then you hear it and you see how he blocks, and then he's taking guys 10 yards down the football field, and he's finishing guys, and he's doing it in practice, and he's, just being, oh, did we do it right? Yes, you did it exactly right, Halsey. And then now he makes the beautiful catches, and he's just coming along. He's coming along. And in my personal mind, I've always said it, right? It takes about 5-6 weeks in a season for guys to really get their reps in, to really feel the different speeds of different defenses and different players, to really adapt the way that your body is going to play in competition. And Halsey is getting his reps in. And, we've seen a lot of great things from Halsey, but there's still so much more to come, because you have week 5, you have week 6, and then all the way to the end of the season and postseason. And I like the kid. I met his parents last week on the little family practice day, and he comes from a good root of people. So I think that Halsey has a long career of doing this, and he's doing it well, and he's helping us. He's almost like an extra offensive lineman that could catch, a little bit more skilled than me. So I tip my hat.
What Nickelodeon show would you be?
That's not a question.
That's a question.
What Nickelodeon show would I be, or what character in a Nickelodeon show would I be?
Well, you could be multiple characters in the same show, right?
So now I'm like a box.
He was all.
He is Halsey. We can't combine Halsey, and Halsey is a unique.
What character would you be then?
Donnie from the Wild Thornberrys. It's number 1, okay? And I would probably realistically be Otto from Rocket Power. Those are Dion as a combined bunch. You get the Donnie, that, and then you get the X Games type of vibes, wild factor, monster lifestyle guy, which is Schno, Yeah. Anybody else?
Just talked so much over the years about the importance of winning division games.
Yeah.
Intensity feels different when you guys are playing division opponents. Does he do anything different to set that tone early in the week?
I think the coaches are good teachers, right? They're good teachers. McDermott is, like the principal or the dean, the head teacher, the head guy. And then it all trickles down to all the individual teachers that help him get the point across of the importance of divisional games. Because even myself, with learning about a divisional game, I didn't, in college, right? We have a couple of teams that we play in division, and then we go out, right? Like Tulsa and Tulane and with Temple and then you are here and you got the Jets, the Dolphins, the Patriots. Learning the importance of a divisional game is the biggest thing in football to get to the next level of the regular season, right? Handle your divisional games. That is the easiest, not the easiest, but that's the direct beeline way of getting to the playoffs. Handle your divisional games, you'll probably have a great shot of making it into the playoffs. McDermott has preached that, taught that, embedded that into our heads. From the first day of practice, from the first day of OTAs, from the first team meeting, it's, we won't lose at home. mindset and handle our division. And the intensity is always high because we know how much it means to him, and now because it meant so much to him, how much it means to us, of why divisional games matter so much. And, like, that's the message for anybody listening, right? Like, divisional games are most important. You want to be the top dog in your division, and then you want to be the top dog on your side of the division, the whole division, right? AFC and NFC, and then that's how you become the two best. And yeah, divisional games are always the hardest. I always speak about that. They are always the hardest. Jets, Dolphins, and Patriots. No matter what the records are, no matter what it is, those teams play us the hardest, and we play them the hardest because we know that they are in the same little four-corner boxing ring fight of, last man standing out of us four to get to the next level. What'd you have? None?
Any matchup, there's maybe areas where you can look at and say, oh, these are going to be things that define this game. How much does it excite you as a competitor when it's sort of a strength on strength that involves you guys? You guys have the top rushing offense in the NFL going up against.
We are? We're the top rushing offense in the NFL?
Yeah, right.
What, like with Cook or like Josh or like combination or just in
rush
all?
yards.
Oh, wow, that's cool.
Going up against the Patriots, who are second in rush defense. When it's a strength on strength like
I
that
didn't
involves
know
you, how much does that excite you as a competitor?
Yeah, I'm learning more about it. I actually think one of the guys had said that in a team meeting today, but I kind of like went over my head. But I think that's cool. But knowing the opponent is a great thing as a competitor. And that's just little things to put in, like little coin after coin. Just know that they're really good at this. Know that they're really good at rushing the passer. They're really good at stopping. They're really good at secondary. Let's not throw. Let's work on running. Like, yeah, like that is a beautiful thing. But as an individual, I don't really look at all of that stuff, because it's the game is so complicated, but it's so simple, right? Like, we play a game of inches, right? Like, game of inches, stuff be so close, right? Like, you just, like, sometimes it might just take this much more, or sometimes, like, you might get a takeaway, and a takeaway might take the percentage of a game drastically in our favor or against us just because of a turnover, right? Like, you win a turnover margin, it's something crazy, right? So there's so many different things that I think about, and that's not one of them. But hearing it, now, it fuels me. Now we want to beat the best, like they're number 2, right? So we're like number 1, so cool. We'll see how it goes. And I'm glad that Cook is the guy of the month, because now we got that special star on our side. So I think that it'll be cool and a good in competition. But to answer that question, I don't really think about that. And good job to those guys that they've been doing a good job of stopping the run, because if you stop the run, you make the team one-dimensional, and then it's harder to play a game. But we have a quarterback that can do both, as well as run and pass, and we have a running back that can also run and catch. So, I'm happy with our guys.
Got the Snow shirt on.
Always.
How excited were you to see the helmets this week, and how excited to wear those uniforms?
Yeah, man. Snow, right? In my mind, I think the jerseys are mine, right? Nobody's going to tell me otherwise. The cold front, the icy, the patch, everything, they're beautiful. I think Nike and the guys did a good job of creating them and allowing the guys to wear them. It's been really cool. I'm excited. I think that this is the first time that we've ever had a whiteout, right? Like, I literally think that this is the first time that we've ever had a whiteout. So I'm excited to see the stands in white instead of blue, right? And they usually wear blue, and we can see, like, oh, those are all our guys. Those are the opponent's guys. But now I think the entire stadium is going to be white. And it's a night game, so I just can't wait to honestly see it, like, when I think the defense or whoever's coming out, like, of the tunnel, whoever, we could see, like, the lights flashing with the white aura, because it'll be cool. And then you got a couple of 73s in the stands, so I'll give a thumb up or a piece up and say, yo, y'all look good in that uniform. So I'm excited. White, snow white. All right? Vibe right. I can't wait, man.